Win thanks to Joe Burgess's last-minute try. Another win tonight in Super League's biggest local derby, and the chase goes down to the final weekend. And Wigan will certainly be favourites now to finish top of the pile if they claim that win. Castleford's victory against Leeds last night has suddenly opened the door, but Saints can also claim the shield if they triumph in this, the 68th Super League meeting. So have the stakes ever been higher for a meeting between Rugby League's oldest foes outside of Wembley or Old Trafford? I think not. The teams then, and Saints, have got Mark Percival making his 50th starting appearance tonight, but there is a blow. Travis Burns is missing for the first time in 22 matches. Jordan Turner then takes over at standoff. Up front, there's no Alex Walmsley, so Andre Savelio, who was named last week to start at prop and then withdrew at the last minute, returns to the side. Joe Greenwood, by the way, is making his 50th St Helens appearance. And on the bench, a return to action for, first of all, Mossy Massoy and Atelier Bay. Massoy has missed the last two. They hasn't been seen since the Cup semi-final defeat by Leeds. Now Wigan, they've got Matty Bowen returning at full-back. He retires at the end of the season, having lost an NRL Grand Final 10 years ago and the Old Trafford showpiece 12 months ago. He wants to go out with a bang. Up front, two significant changes. Tolima Tautai suspended for the next 3 games. Lon Patrick comes into the starting lineup, and the skipper is back. Sean O'Loughlin plays against St Helens for the 40th time. And Anthony Gelling is named on the bench by Sean Wayne, a late inclusion as he wasn't in the 19-man squad that was originally named. So the Wigan Warriors, they can put themselves well and truly in the driving seat in their quest to finish top of the table going into the semi-finals if they beat the Saints, who have lost both of their home games in the Super 8 so far. And it's 10 years actually since they lost 3 home games in a row, so that is a record they do not want to rewrite. Sean O'Loughlin coming back to the side with last season, ending St Helens' winning run at the start of the campaign. An absolutely brilliant match from O'Loughlin, and he'll have to be at his brilliant best tonight to see off the challenge of the Saints. Out they come then. Saints, the red V as usual, Wigan in their change jerseys. I can't remember a derby match between these two that carries so much weight and so much kudos, and that's why the likes of Joey Barton has turned up here tonight to watch this game. I think by the looks of things he is on the social media maybe asking a question of Brian Carney. Out they come. I believe also Ryan Giggs is in the crowd here tonight at the Langtree Park Stadium as well. The Premier League footballers are all massive Super League supporters, and when you get games like this, you can't really blame them. Steve-o, this can be very, very special indeed.
It always is, Eddie, and I just cannot wait to get this game underway, because both Kieran Cunningham and Sean Wayne, the two coaches, they're fully aware of the importance of those 2 points on offer tonight. Sean Wayne made it quite clear when we interviewed him before the kick-off in regards that if you win up front, then you've got the ability to walk away with a victory. Robert Hicks is the official tonight. Let's hope he gives them plenty of space, keeps them back the regulation 10 metres, because the talent on display tonight is mouth-watering, but the nerves will play its part. The first 3 or 4 minutes, the first time you get the ball from the kick-off, get the first hit in, first tackle, try to settle down.
Stay on, guys.
It is so tense, and they know it, and you can feel it, Eddie.
You can, along with Wigan, St Helens and Huddersfield. They've all got the chance to finish top, and Leeds of course. Saints win here, Huddersfield win at Hull. The top 4 will be covered by a single point with just the 1 game remaining. And here is Kyle Amor taking the ball forward on the first tackle of this match. Vital 80 minutes lies ahead. Roby, the dummy half. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. He gets the Saints to the very edge of the 20-metre line. They come down this right-hand channel with Mark Percival Makinson was waiting a slip pass on the wing, never came. Roby to Turner. Turner then gets the ball away to Savelio, and Wigan hunt the young prop forward down.
Pretty solid defence by Wigan as well. Interesting to see how Jordan Turner handles that stand-off position. That looked slightly high, got away with it, but that'll be a penalty.
It is, and Robert Hicks blows the penalty. First of the match goes to St Helens.
Well, Tompkins, he should have just left him alone, and you can see he just dragged the arm across. Greenwood appeals to the official Robert Hicks. Boy, this is a golden opportunity now for Saints.
It's a pertinent point about Jordan Turner. I thought he was very good in the game against the Leeds Rhinos, playing in the middle of the field. Nathan Brown, soon to be named as the head coach of the Newcastle Knights, said that he considered Jordan Turner. What a shot! That's a 6. I think he's better off running the ball. But in the absence of Burns, this is what you can expect in a derby game. In the absence of Burns, you're right, Steve. A lot is going to come on the shoulders and the ball playing ability, a ball handling ability of Jordan Turner. Keep an eye and see how he does.
Amor it is, who has hold of the football. That's the third tackle completed. They're midway inside the Wigan half with Wilkin and now Walsh, and there's Quinlan, and he gets it away to Jones, and he is halted, stopped dead in his tracks, because as the ball reached Josh Jones, so too did John Bateman. Here is Luke Walsh, gives it to Wilkin. Savelio will take it forward, met by Patrick. Savelio slips the net briefly.
Yeah, so upper body strength, so strong is that fella. Interesting to see there, you saw immediately John Bateman out wide playing in the centres. That's the reason why Sean Wayne's put him there. He's tough in defence. Great take.
Good take from Shanley.
It was taken in from the field of play.
The field of play.
He's going to check, but I think Robert Hicks has got it absolutely spot on. I think there was 1 foot.
I agree, Steve. You see Josh Charnley, he's in the field of play, lands in the in goal.
No doubt about it, Baz.
And Stuart Cummings, you're watching this. Robert Hicks has got it spot on.
It looks that way. He only has to touch the line slightly and it will be classed as jumping from in goal, but he's got it right. He's in a good position.
Well, it's always nice, but this is the sort of defence that you look for. And Sean O'Loughlin, boy.
Well, that could be one of Barry and Terry's big hits.
That will definitely be one of the big hits. We haven't talked about the physicality. And you see with youthful players, they've no fear, they don't know what to expect.
Virtually all St Helens in the opening 2.5 minutes of this match.
Interested to see, Eddie, how they'll utilise the kicking game. Remember, that's a bad mistake from Greenwood.
And Bowen's away from the mistake by Greenwood. What a good run this is. He's given it away.
He'll go back. That was a play.
Everyone's heart missed a beat for a moment there. We all forgot it was the free play.
Well, Matty Bowen did. Well, he was jinking in and out. Deary me. That was a big mistake by Joe Greenwood. And look at the amazing speed that Matty Bowen gets into top gear. He may have a little bit of age problem. He's not the youngest of them. Percival thought he was in for a try, but it was the free play.
Good job. Robert Hicks had all his faculties then, because we were all carried away for a moment.
And Eddie, I think it was Matty Smith who put that shot on Joe Greenwood, who's had a couple now. He's just being reminded, if he wants to run at the pivots, because most teams, most coaches, they'll target those pivot players, try and take some energy away. And Matty Smith and his teammates saying, you're not running at me, son.
Wigan then with the ball in hand really for the first time tonight, and this is Joel Tompkins.
Boy, that looked as though there was an elbow by Thompson.
There was no one John Wilkins screaming and shouting at the referee. He had no option there, Stuart.
Yeah, there was all over them.
Well, that's right. He's made his decision. He's not going to change his mind after that. Even if there was an elbow coming in before that, he's made his decision on the tackle.
I think it was Joe Greenwood trying to get a little bit of revenge. He was the one sat back a couple of times by Wigan defenders. Joel Tompkins, he felt, ran with a slightly raised elbow. The referee saw nothing wrong with it, so it's play on. But
yeah, but
this is ratcheted it up.
Brian, the touch judge should have seen that. He was only about 10 metres away from it.
McIlorum on the 20-metre line gives the ball to O'Loughlin. They've weathered early pressure from the Saints, Wigan, but they're coming forward here, but not for long, because Larn Patrick is pulled down by Wilkin. Knock on by Larn Patrick.
Oh, that's a big error. boy, we saw it up at the other end. The pressure has been applied. Greenwood couldn't take the ball knocked on, and you can see there that Lauren Patrick has made a huge boo-boo. What a first opportunity for the visitors to apply the pressure has gone.
And Steve, when I was watching St Helens warm up, after the forwards had done some heavy contact, it was John Wilkin who got always forwards in a huddle, very aggressively, demanding that they stepped up to the plate against this Wigan side. And I think he did the same thing in the change room before St Helens went out. So I think the intensity in defence from St Helens is coming because the skipper is demanding that they get stuck into the Wigan side.
Lauren Patrick dropped that call. First thing he did, got up and appealed to the referee, said there was interference, trying to fool the referee. Just an indication, it's another difficulty the man in the middle has to deal with. Not only does he have to make a call on it, he's got players trying to convince him that the opposite of what we've seen is true.
Just has to try, if he can, and trust his eyes and trust his judgment and trust his belief. Robert Hicks, and in the opening 5.5 minutes, that's exactly what he's done. It's with Walsh, who spins it wide to Wilkin, who gets it further wide to Josh Jones, but that's great defence from Wigan.
Is it ever? That's what you call solid sliding defence. Go on, see if you can get on the outside of me, but you ain't going to do that. And again, the selection of John Bateman in that centres tonight. He knows it, Kieran Cunningham. He should have gone back on that inside, and look how they celebrate. You'd think they'd scored a try.
Might have seen the scoreline going through the bottom of the screen. Huller ahead by 4 points to 0. There's Ryan Giggs. I told you he was here. The Manchester United assistant manager.
What moisturiser does he use? Geez, he looks good, doesn't he? Nearly 50.
Well, I'm sure that if you have a word, Brian, he would look after you.
I'll talk to you later, Brian. I use the same.
Oh, well.
I don't use any moisturiser.
We can tell that, Barry. 6.5 minutes gone. And McIlorum finds Williams, and Crosby will take it forward. Well, Hull ahead, and here it's all square. This fight for the lead in the Shield is building, isn't it? And last weekend, it looks like it might be very special. It's going to be very special here tonight, maybe. Bateman knows put that ball down. No, it went backwards, he says.
Oh, that's a big call.
Well, that was your man, John Bateman, under enormous pressure from Adam Swift.
O'Loughlin. Whoop. Backwards again from Crosby. That's a forward. Zero tackle, free play. He hands on to Andre Savelio.
Did well. You can see that Wigan got their defence sorted out pretty quickly. And again, Bateman to the fore.
Well, it's error-strewn, the opening 7.5 minutes. There's no question about that.
But look at the line speed, Eddie. The mistakes are coming from the pressure of both defences.
Luke Walsh. Andre Savelio. And his opposite number, Lauren Patrick, was first to him.
It's amazing. Neither side have utilised a dummy runner as yet. And we're nearly 8 minutes into the game, and that shows you it's a one-out battle up front. And they find it, both sides are finding it difficult to get it to the three quarters.
There's Quinlan, gets it to Percival, and it just bounced in front of Tommy Makinson. So Wigan have it back on the zero tackle. Another error.
Well, the first side to settle down can start to control it. Remember, we haven't seen a good kicking game as yet. It's all action. It's all trying to get that first try.
It's so a bit harem-scarum, isn't it?
It is, Eddie. They threatened Wigan there. He did so well to get his hands free. Just angled the pass down too low, and it would have been a great take by Makinson if he'd been managed to pick it up. That's what you're talking about, Barry. That's the pressure. That's why we got mistakes.
Dom Crosby, as soon as he catches that ball, two St Helens defenders collect him. It's Scarsbrook, Jordan Turner, leg drive, and the ball comes spewing out.
Well, if you head and feet to Wigan, it looks as though there was a knock on there by the Saints player.
Well, I think they're going to go head and feet to Saints. I think they've ruled that's come backwards off Wigan and then knocked on by Saints on the floor. I think they're just waiting for some confirmation from the video ref.
So it would be a scrunch system. Wigan knock on. You've got one here. He's got a replay.
Well, is that the loose carry from Crosby?
Yeah, it's hit McCarthy Scarsbrook on the head, so therefore you're right.
Well, no, the video referees confirmed that it was knocked on by Wigan. It's by Wigan. It's hit the St Helens player, then gone backwards.
Ball's lost into St Helens, so it goes forward and back.
Phil Bentham, Warren Turley are the video referees tonight, keeping a close eye on what's happening.
Cast your minds back, Eddie, to the last time these teams met here. St Helens had a lot of luck with their right to left shift. Ball ending up out towards Swift. Turner was playing centre on that occasion, in that game. Let's see if they go for it again. Wigan's right hand side with Josh Charnley and John Bateman might be the target.
Go.
Roby at dummy half. They go up the middle.
That's got to be a penalty. It was over.
I think they're lucky.
He's over the horizontal.
I think they're lucky that McCarthy Scarsbrook saved himself, and maybe Wigan were a little bit of care and attention as well. This is going to be another head and feed to St Helens from the scrum.
Oh, he's giving it six.
Yeah, there's a knock on from Wigan.
Yeah.
Boy, this is frenetic, isn't it? Yeah.
Mike.
Is it Matty Smith?
Just because similar to theirs.
No,
I've let that go, but we need to keep more control on the tip.
Yeah, there it is. He has it.
Matty Smith has got the left arm to it.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, this is sheer panic on both sides.
Sorry.
You'd think there's only a minute remaining in this game. The score's all level, and they were just desperate to get that try. Settle down, boys.
Yes, it needs to settle down. I know the stakes are high. Here comes McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Goal line. Go.
Roby to Jordan Turner. Jordan Turner with the try. It's not given yet. They've got no try on the field because he's seen something in back play. He's seen obstruction. Jordan Turner's not scored in 6. This for 100 career tries if it's given.
Well, we've not seen many obstructions all year, and we've had many in the last few weeks. Well, there's a man standing in the line to start with. So is he going to obstruct? Ben Flower moving to his left. That'll be what the video referee Phil Bentham is trying to look at. Well, he's stood in the line. You can't do that. I think it won't go much further than this on the video. I think this try will be disallowed for obstruction.
No, they're not looking. The Wigan supporters know they're not looking at the grounding. The no try decision flashes up on the big screen. Jordan Turner is denied his 100th career try and the first try of the match.
Well, I think you'll find that it's John Wilkin, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wilkin goes in and, well, it deserved it, didn't it? Wilkin tried to stop, but you can see he just had a little step towards it.
I think he also had a glance at Ben Flower.
Yeah.
Worth pointing out that Robert Hicks, he's got both decisions right before he's gone to video referee. They're spooked, the referees. Back your decision. You're a referee. You're out there. Make the call. The referee, the video referee, has become a crutch for them.
Well, he has, but can you imagine if they make a blunder in a match of this importance?
There's blunders all the time.
This is McIlorum now with a little run from dummy half.
Quick play the ball by Wigan. That's what they need, and they've been doing it in the build-up to this.
This is Smith. Gets the ball away short to Tompkins. He gives it then to Bateman, who tries to dance around them and go through them, and he nearly did. Very good tackle by Cervello that. McIlorum now. Here is Matty Smith. Smith dabs it to the in-goal area. Longton was looking for it, and Jordan Turner, I think.
It'll be a dropout underneath.
Jordan Turner to the rescue.
Yeah, just. Well, Lachlan looked as though he was going to get to it, and Turner just get a fingertip. Talk about try-saving effort. Oh, look at that. Well, over the past few weeks, we've had tries given with little pinkies pointing in east, south, west, north, you name it. But it's got to be a dropout underneath the sticks. Boy, the crowd is on edge. The players are on edge. I need a pill.
One's on its way. Here is Luke Walsh with the goal line dropout.
Got cyanide marked on it.
So here comes Don Crosby for Wigan. Drives it into the 30-metre line. McIlorum waits. Goes to the right-hand side to Matty Smith. Good ball. Joel Tompkins. Joel Tompkins for Wigan. St Helens defence crumbled under the pressure. And Joel Tompkins gets the try on this his 21st consecutive appearance. A try here in the defeat to St Helens in June for Joel Tompkins. and Joel Tompkins has given Wigan the early lead.
Super play, Matty Smith. Talk about just bringing in, sucking in the defender and letting it go onto the gap. Look at this. You can see quite clearly Josh Jones. And it was an easy run-in for this fella, but it's all about the build-up. And Matty Smith has been the creator yet again.
Well, that's the first try from Joel Tompkins since that try scored here in June in the defeat. Seems like he enjoys playing at Langtree Park. And it's going to be Matty Bowen to try and add the extras. Bowen retiring at the end of the year. Wants to go out on a high. And it's Bowen who has kicked 14 goals so far this season. He should make it 14 with this because he's right bang in front of the sticks. Score update is coming in from Hull and Huddersfield. We'll bring you that just as soon as we have seen this from Matty Bowen. There has been a try, another try at the KC Stadium. We've had the first try here at Langtree Park. Wigan leading 4-0, this for 6-0. Taking his time, Matty Bowen, even though he's bang in front. 6-0 it is to the Wigan Warriors. 13 minutes or thereabouts on the clock here. Meanwhile, at Hull against Huddersfield, the Giants have struck back. This is Jake Connor, and Connor gets the ball away, and it's that man Aaron Murphy who has done that so many times this year. They've kicked the goal, and the Giants lead by 6 points to 4.
And it's just worth making the point about the rush defence that both sides are using. You're liable to make mistakes, and I believe during that passage of play, St Helens, in their ability and their haste to get up and put pressure on the Wigan players, they forgot to communicate and number off, and that's why Matty Smith was able to put Joel Tompkins through a gap and get the first score of the game.
Hull and Huddersfield is available on the iPad and also Sky Sports Extra on the website. It's live now. I implore you not to leave us here at Langtree Park, but have a look at the two of them. Put the other one on your device. Look at that with one eye and keep your eye on this here.
Oh, this is wonderful forward play. You don't often see this from the loose forward and the captain, Sean O'Loughlin. He's normally quite happy just to be a bit of a workhorse, especially in palm the ball out, but he's been carrying the ball up a little bit too strong this, perhaps. Yes, it is.
Just a touch. Quinlan able to let the Matty Smith kick run dead, so they bring it back to the 20-metre line.
But the way that Sean O'Loughlin has been carrying that ball, you'd think he'd be playing as a prop forward tonight. That's about the third or fourth time he's made good progress over the advantage.
I wonder if Sean Wayne went to bed on Wednesday night and said a prayer that Castleford would get the win at Leeds last night, which would set them up here for a possible victory and a possibility of winning the League Leaders' Shield. Not only does it mean they win that, they go into the semi-finals. Whoever it is who wins it, by the way, go into the semi-finals in pole position against the team sitting fourth in the semi-finals. It means that they are, whoever it is, they are confirmed in the World Club Series for next year. Leeds already there because they've won the Challenge Cup. And the referee has called held.
Josh is back there a bit. I called held, mate. Sorry.
We'll take it back. Happy with it.
Yeah.
Well, an early kick from St Helens there. Luke Walsh punted the ball down. That's the reason Josh Charnley's got it.
He's offside.
Boy, that was a lucky. That was a let-off there. It wasn't the best pass from Matty Smith, and he knows it.
Well, there were still players in front of the play the ball there, and as he stopped it to get the play the ball restarted, that's why he held it up and didn't allow the play to go ahead.
So just over a quarter of an hour gone, Wigan are ahead by 6 points to 0. Dom Crosby is picked up and dumped to the ground by Joe Greenwood. McAlorum to Bateman. Good tackling low down by James Roby, and that's what he does so well. Almost 1,000 tackles again from Roby this year. Here is Matty Smith. Looks for depth and finds Williams. Williams chips it down the line. Quinlan has to be brave. Is that off the knees or was that a knock on? Well, the touch judge was very close, got a better look than us.
I think he got a bit of a knee to that before he got the hands to it. It was a neat kick. Good take as well by Quinlan in the end.
Adam Swift now for the Saints.
We're going to got to be careful here not to give away a silly penalty.
That was a tough take for Quinlan. A really difficult one for the fullback. Low wouldn't bounce up for him. Brave decision in the end.
Move! Which way, mate? Hold
You
here.
see the two prop forwards, Crosby and Flower. They've been working overtime in that department.
Walsh back on the inside to Amor. Nowhere for him to go because of those two, Crosby and Flower. Reach the last tackle here, and he elected to run it first of all, and then Wilkin will just dab it down the line.
That's a great kick, and that is a wonderful chase. Nowhere for Bowen there.
Surrender!
As I say, it's always a dangerous option to give it to the Australian Bowen. Got great footwork. That's good defence as well, but John Bateman.
Move, John! Here, Andre.
Shoulder to the stone.
Saints currently 4th. They finished outside the top 3 just once in the last 10 years. They finished 5th in 2013. They lost their first 3 home games, or their first 3 games in these Super 8s, but they've won the last 2. That's why they're back in the hunt for the top of the table finish. But they've got to get beyond Wigan here tonight, who have the encouragement of knowing they win. They go 2 points clear at the top with just 1 game remaining.
Will they go for the high kick, or will they go for the corner? Oh, they're running it.
They are with Williams. And Williams gives the ball to Burgess, and Burgess hacks it forward. Lon Patrick's on the chase. Quinlan gets to it.
Oh,
Quinlan grounds the ball in goal.
Eddie, he nearly lost it. It was all over the shop with this ball.
Well, I'd like to know whether he's onside, Lon Patrick, when that kick goes in. Here's the pass from Burgess. Williams, delivers the pass. Burgess with the kick. The ball is stripped by Lon Patrick. Is he onside?
It's close.
Well, either way, was it a knock-on, or was it in the in-goal area from Lon Patrick?
Well, he's grounded the ball anyway. I don't think Lon Patrick got his hand to it. Quinlan's dropped the ball, and he's grounded it with his chest and his arm, so the goal line drop was correct.
So that means more pressure coming in on this Saints line. Flower with the initial run.
Here, Louis!
He's getting back to his best, isn't he? As I say, they're bossing this middle of Wigan. The likes of Crosby and Flower, Joel Tompkins, they really are putting the pressure on the opposition.
Back into midfield to Matty Bowen. From the other Matty Smith. Here's McAlorum, now Dom Crosby. And Crosby takes it forward, spinning under the challenge from Amor and Roby. McAlorum, Smith. Bateman bounces through one challenge. Can't get away from Roby, who's there inevitably. And Roby does a forward roll over the top of him. It's now with McAlorum. Here is Bowen. Bowen slides the kick to the in-goal area.
Oh, it's close. Williams must be very close indeed.
Goal line dropout is the decision.
Great positioning by Robert Hicks.
Well, there you go, Brian. He's backed himself. He's right in front of it. He's seen exactly what's happened. There's the arm.
Time off.
Percival who gets it down.
Tell him.
Boy, that was a beautiful kick by the fullback, Matty Bowen. That's how to control the game. Apply that pressure. Wigan are building in confidence now.
Third goal line dropout that Wigan have forced. They lead 6-0. Coming up to the midpoint of this first half. Walsh with the dropout to Smith. Smith to Flower. Back comes the big Welsh international. Down he goes.
James Hold.
You've got to heighten your senses now, Eddie, if you're St Helens defender. There's a lot coming at you in this next set. There's a bit of fatigue kicking in, coming up to the 20-minute mark. You've been defending. Switch on now.
Switch on because McAlorum has it. Now it's O'Loughlin who gives it to Williams. And Williams goes down on tackle number 3. Here is Matty Smith. Smith going through them. Good job that McCarthy Scarsbrook got a hand to him.
It's on the line. Will McAlorum go on his own? No, he's fed it out wide. Bowens is hard to handle.
He's got Mossy Massoy in front of him. Mossy Massoy wrestles him to the ground like a rag doll. McAlorum waits again, fires the pass then to Smith. Smith gives it to Williams. Williams stabs it in behind the defenders once more. Adam Swift with work to do. Adam Swift is collared by Joel Tompkins. It was the collar, nothing high about that. The fourth goal line dropout they've forced.
Brilliant. Wigan are controlling it. They're getting their pace. They're saying, you're going to have to just come up to our level. This is Wonderful stuff by the visitors. The Warriors in full control.
The men you'd fear for now, Barry, are the big ones in the middle, aren't they? I know Mossy Massoy is just on the field, but it's times like this when fatigue is kicking in and you have been defending that you become vulnerable.
You're bang on right. You've got it. You use the phrase heighten your senses. You know that any little glimpse of fatigue, any little glimpse of being quiet, being stationary, that's where players with the intellect and the IQ like Matty Smith and George Williams will find you, isolate you and embarrass you.
That was crafty play by Luke Walsh. They delayed and delayed taking that goal line dropout, just trying to get some air into the lungs.
Not only the
St Helens defenders.
Not only that, Eddie, there was a message being sent out, and the trainer called him out. He went over the in-goal area just to listen to it. Boy, they are under pressure. If they can get away with this, Saints, it'll be marvellous play.
Patrick hits the pass from Matty Smith.
Come on, Greg.
McIlorum again, the dummy half, inevitably. A little scampering run from him. Flat pass to Crosby. Good tackle low down. Roby again. Huddersfield stretch the lead at the KC Stadium. Pressure's on then at the top of the table. Williams takes it forward.
The Carthage Scarsborough low tackle. Had to be.
Here now is O'Loughlin. Slides the kick in once more. Easy for Quinlan on this occasion.
That was a high swinger as well.
Brilliant by St Helens. Brilliant defence. They kept him out. This is it. This is it.
Wilkins away. Tries to bump his way through Bowen.
You've got to give a lot of credit to the Wigan players. They put themselves in between so that Wilkins could not offload.
Here goes
a
Quinlan.
pullback.
Here goes Quinlan. Halted by Crosby. Wigan's defence is marshalled now. Roby. Walsh. Greg Richards is out there.
Yeah, it came a little bit too soon. It was a flat pass. Caused no bother for the Wigan defence.
Jordan Turner. Here is Mark Percival. Gets as far.
Oh, that should have been a flop.
Roby. Down the line and will chase it himself. James Roby.
Oh, just
beats
couldn't get to it. Tell you what, Matty Bowen was slow to react to that one.
Oh, it's lung-busting stuff, isn't it? And I'm sure both sets of players will be happy to see that ball just drift over the sideline. Lots of players walking.
Yeah,
It's a big play by Roby, wasn't it?
it's close enough, but they never won this one.
Okay, let's just have a look at this latest effort from Huddersfield. This one scored by Jake Connor. Well, it's over his head, first of all, to Murphy. He stayed there and he took the pass and he flies in the corner. Huddersfield are doing their bit, Wigan are doing theirs.
St Helens are doing theirs defensively. Defended about 4 sets. They're out on their feet. They haven't got a whole lot of options to throw at Wigan in attack. And then Roby comes up with that right cap.
A big push of the scrum.
And it's allowed.
Roby gets it.
It's allowed, Eddie. A lot of
Mossy Massoy.
It was a shocking pass. You can't blame him. It was a shocker. Completely lost it. Richards, look at that. Oh, Kieran Cunningham. It was a great push. Finished up with the ball. And lo and behold, the shocking pass from Richards.
They're thinking, Steve, or what they're trying to do is outsmart their opposition, St Helens. I know they make a mistake, and it was a poor pass. And a big man had to bend a considerable way and couldn't do so, but Saints are trying to think their way through this match.
Isn't that a good sign? Under fatigue, they'll come up with a play like that. I know they dropped it in the next set, but that's you're Kieran Cunningham, Sean Long, Jamal Alessi. You'd think our boys are smart tonight. It's going to give us a chance.
Well, the biggest
gave
problem,
them the chance, but then they made a mess of it.
yeah, the biggest problem that Saints are having is that you can see that Wigan, when they get the ball in their own quarter, they have the ability to advance up the field so that when they kick, they've got it. And look at that. They're getting into a good position, get the kick away, and they're just turning St Helens around and around.
Matty Smith rolling his sleeves up. He's defending, he's taking strong carries up. He's ready to play. Matty Smith, the 7 for Wigan.
On halfway, Wigan have reached the last. The kick from Matty Smith just turns Adam Swift around, and it just has that last little skip then, bounces its way over the dead ball line.
And they won't mind that. They can line up on that 30. And you can see quite a few of the St Helens players, they're finding it tough going.
Well, Percival, Swift, Makinson, they're the ones that are going to have to make a dent, I think, in the defensive line for Wigan. Wigan are doing well in the tackle, slowing St Helens down. There's a lot of men like Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook, and John Wilkin trying to get the breaths in.
Here comes McCarthy Scarsbrook again, but Lee Mossop was there. Roby and Walsh. Walsh with a kick. He's gone for a 40-20 here, Luke Walsh. He's gone for the 40-20. It doesn't make it.
No, it just didn't curve away. But look at that chase. Well, we thought they were struggling perhaps for running out of fuel, but that indicates that they have just lifted themselves yet again.
Steve-O, that's a kick on the third, and I believe they've said to themselves, whenever we're in a bit of a hold, we're struggling to gain ground, I'll give you the call, we'll kick it long and chase hard and make Wigan work off the line.
Hold, go.
Well, there's certainly more energy when you've got to cart the ball forward. It was quick thinking there by Luke Walsh. But again, the difference between the two, Wigan in control, getting into the opposition's half. Quite easy.
Tony Clubb stampedes his way over that halfway line. We've reached the last tackle here for Wigan. Powell gives it to Smith. Smith then to Bowen. They're running this one. Bowen stabs it through. Oh, it's a knock on. It's a knock on. Joe Greenwood couldn't take it in. They're going to get head and feet here, Wigan.
Beautiful play by Matty Bowen.
I think he's lucky there, Steve-O. I think he takes a gamble, just nudges it forward, and the big fella Joe Greenwood can't bring it in.
Yeah, but when you've got a three-quarter that's so fast on his feet with Matty Bowen, you've got to make sure that you can drop on that ball correctly.
Let's just get him in and get the ball right.
It's always a good option. You put the ball on the ground. Sometimes we claim, why do you put it in the air? It's easy to take. Put it on the ground. A rugby league ball can just go anywhere at any time.
In great form, Wigan, in these Super 8s. They've won 4 of the 5 so far, including each of the last 3. They've scored exactly 100 points in the process. This is Mossop.
2, John Wilkin, move!
Quite frankly, Eddie, the possession and field position that Wigan have had, Saints will be quite happy at the fact that they're only 6 points down.
They got the ball back.
Got the ball back here. LMS trying to punch a hole up the middle.
Move now, Tony! Go, good work.
It was a risky pass.
And Roby picked up a bit of a knock in that little melee there.
Penalty for St Helens. Offside. Marcus not standing square.
No, it was 3 markers. They had 3 markers in there that went away to tackle, so that was the penalty.
Somebody can't count. I'm left. You're right. Where do I go if there's 3?
In the middle.
I think, Baz, I think that both sides are so excited about it. They know the importance.
Well, when you get tired, as we see Andy Gelling come onto the pitch for Wigan,
playing in the second row, Barry, I think. You're going to leave Gildart in the centre, as you would do, and Gelling will be a handful. He's staying involved in the tackle now.
Brian, I saw him warm up with the forwards, which was an indicator he might come on. But when you're tired, the first thing to go is your communication.
Boy, they were looking with that one. That looked slightly forward. He did well, Roby, and it's play on.
It is play on. Luke Walsh puts it in behind Gildart, and Gildart does well. Oh, it's a knock on here.
Oh, the pressure, that must have come from the touch.
And it's head and feed to Saints. Knock on by Gildart, they're saying.
This is a real chance for Saints here. They've been playing for this the last 5 or 6 minutes or so.
Why would I come back?
Stuart, where did that come from?
I think it's before that incident, when he dropped on the ball. And the call did come from the touches, Tony Martin on the side.
After the tangle's complete, so you've got
I think it's there, he just lost it as he tried to gather it.
Well, the blind side is open. It's one-on-one. Wigan fans at that end don't like it.
I think there's points coming here for St Helens.
And will it be that shift, Barry, that right to left shift?
Yeah.
Out!
That's where they're going, but Roby's going on his own. And someone has come up with a shoulder charge, have they?
No.
Oh, they've taken a man out.
They pulled him back at the scrum. He's trying to get out the scrum, and he was held in by his opposite number. Stopped him making the tackle.
Well, that was silly play.
On Tony Clubb it is.
Really?
All right, you can go.
Well, it creates the gap for Roby to go through, and the referee's seen the shirt pulled.
It's Greg Richards. Stuart,
why would you want to do that?
I know what you're saying, and I know whenever you do that, you do leave yourself open, but every scrum has shirt pulls, short pulls, tugs,
Penalties back on.
pinches, grabs.
You can't hold someone in to create a gap for somebody to run through, and that's what's happened there.
Stuart, you know, when Barry played, it was just the rule book was just sort of a basis of how you play the game. There was nothing set down in stone. Half an hour gone here. Wigan are ahead by 6 points to 0. And what's happening at the KC Stadium? Is it more trouble for Hull? Is it more points for Huddersfield? Well, Jack Hughes gets the ball away, does he eventually? Yes. And it's in for another try for Huddersfield for Scott Griggs.
Move, Jordan!
So they're going well, Huddersfield. They're doing all they can, and so are Wigan.
Well, many good judges, Eddie, believing now that Huddersfield, this could finally be their year to get through to Old Trafford. Is the penalty. The Saints all over Sean O'Loughlin, and you're right, that's what separates Sean O'Loughlin from a lot of his peers. He can do the delicate stuff. He's got great decision making with his ball handling skills, but he can also roll his sleeves up, do the tough stuff, and that's what he's done on that occasion.
So Williams to Mossop, and Wigan will come again, trying to increase this lead of theirs with 9 minutes before half-time. Sam Powell, back it comes to Williams, flat pass to Bateman. St Helens supporters think it was forward. Bateman eventually takes a tumble on tackle number 2, but they're just 3 metres away from the line are Wigan. And here is Williams, stuttering little run, gives it to Smith. He just drops the pass off to Tompkins.
Great work there by Luke Walsh. No chance of offloading Tompkins there.
Powell again, Matty Smith, O'Loughlin out the back, it missed everybody. Bowen, still, he goes down eventually on tackle number 4.
Crowd thought there was a knock on, but I don't think so.
No, there wasn't. Smith, club, will take it forward. Big Tony to within a metre of that St Helens line.
Will Powell throw the dummy and go on himself, or surely they'll go for the kick?
O'Loughlin, well, he went without it. Did he come off Quinlan? No, it was a knock on by O'Loughlin. It's no try. Still ducks down just in case.
Well, I tell you what, Adam Quinlan saved the try here because he put Sean O'Loughlin off, but he was in a very bad position as a fullback. He was trying to drag players off the ruck. Said he'll have to stand in there. First defender on the right-hand side. Matty Smith is setting up on the other side to kick the ball. So as a fullback, you're in a really difficult situation. But he did what he had to do, and he stopped, I think, a certain try for Wigan.
Well, if St Helens go into the break with only 6 points in arrears, I think Kieran Cunningham, the coach, will be quite happy. And now Wigan's just lost the plot slightly. John Bateman got overexcited.
And that penalty relieves a lot of pressure on the St Helens defence. They will get the penalty, they'll push it well deep into Wigan territory. And more scores from the KC Stadium, and it looks like Hull have struck back here, and it's Jordan Rankin. Jordan Rankin, a great run from him, and Hull are on the board. So it's now 10-16, their second try for the Black and Whites. 10 points to 16 to Huddersfield at the KC Stadium. Here's 6-0 to Wigan, and Mossy Massoy in possession for St Helens.
And normally Mossy Massoy gets up and plays the ball quickly, but Wigan are very, very cute.
Roby to Walsh. Walsh finds Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. Smith just stood his ground. A bit of help from Tompkins and company. Gelling was there as well. Now it is Wilkin. He gives it to Massoy. Now Walsh. Luke Walsh. Brilliant. Great try, Luke Walsh. It's not been given yet by Robert Hicks. Try on the field is given. If he's looking at the grounding only, didn't think there's anything wrong with that. Is he looking for yet another obstruction?
He is indeed.
Stuart, what's going on? We're at the back end of the season. It's coming in more and more. The last 2 nights, we've gone obstruction crazy.
Well, we have. He's given a try on the field. I didn't see anything live that alerted me to an obstruction. So let's see what the footage says. So far, everything's all right. Walsh has gone round the back. He's not obstructed anybody at all there, and he's straight through. I don't think there's an issue. So the referee's called a try on the field. Perhaps he should have stuck with that, because it is a try.
Well, on the first impact, it's probably an inch away from the line, but it then rolls onto it. just, oh boy, that is ever so close, but this will be given. It's TRY and the home side. They're back in this game under so much pressure.
Luke Walsh with the try. He certainly has got his season back on track in these Super 8s, hasn't he? He has missed both against Wigan this year, only the third time he's faced them. Important try coming up.
It certainly was. And you can see that they're through the dummy. And what's there, you see Bateman. He thought he was going to go for the intercept.
Steve, they're making it up a little bit. Luke Walsh takes advantage of Attila Vey, who's come onto the pitch to the delight of that young man. But it's Attila Vey who's just outside in the next hole that just gives the half an inch that Luke Walsh needs. And he's too smart to be given that chance.
7 tries for the season now. 7 from 7 in the win at Castleford last week off the boot of Luke Walsh. This is eminently kickable. The scores will be level in a moment. They are 6 apiece, 5 minutes to half time.
6 or 7 weeks ago, this man was not asking the questions. He knew he was down on his ability, but on this occasion he's thrown the dummy. He really has hit top form over the last 4 weeks.
Third try in the Super 8, Steve-O.
And at a time when St Helens under so much pressure, Sean Wayne knows they should have added to their tally. It's all square. What a take from Makins.
That's brilliant from St Helens. Considering the position they were in, the defence that they're facing, to find themselves now 5 minutes before the half-time whistle, level on the scoreboard. Barry, to score a try against Wigan tonight, they're going to have to do something right, because the defences are on top here from both sides, actually.
And the defence is what's exciting me about this game. You look at how much skill is on show, but there's still bodies turning up, and if you have to break the line, and if you manage to break the line, you've worked really hard to get there.
And St Helens are looking to open things up a little bit. Did you see the offload from Mossy Massoy?
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? Wigan were expecting another barge.
Here comes Turner. He had a try chalked off, remember, early in the match by the video referee. Obstruction.
It's been a good battle between those two, Jordan Turner and George Williams. Williams with the, and this is a pretty good kick. This has got the backspin, but Bowen gets it.
He read it perfectly, Matty Bowen.
He's electric on the step.
Oh, you'd be panicking there if you were a big fella. You saw him run 100 miles an hour, pick the ball up on the half volley and run at you at full tilt. You'd really have to check your stride, slow down a little bit, otherwise he'd make you look foolish.
Well, it's good work there by the winger, Josh Charnley.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a knock-on. That'll be a Wigan knock-on.
It is. This is going to be more pressure on the Wigan line as we approach the half-time.
Just shows you. Getting to the opposition phase, you can see Gildart just had a little glimpse, and that was sufficient for him to lose control.
It's an unusual tackling technique, I'll say that.
Well, Percival was about 4 yards offside when he came up to put pressure on there, which has caused the mistake, which has given Saints possession now.
Well, they sometimes get away with it, other times the officials can see him. But up to now, I've got to say that Robert Hicks has had a fine game.
He has, and it's a big game for Robert. This is probably the most important game he's refereed in his career, and he's had a pretty good start to it.
Oliver Gildart, who came up with the mistake, there's the referee. His daddy and played alongside Sean Wayne in the Wigan side back in the day. Roby is the dummy half. And the referee winds the tackle count down as Massoy gets it away to LMS, who gives it to Josh Jones. Jones rides a couple of tackles. Oh, that might have been a flop from O'Loughlin.
Certainly looked it. He came in very, very late.
Luke Walsh to McCarthy Scarsbrook again.
Will we see a solo from Roby? Haven't seen many tonight.
Walsh again, attacking the line. Wilkin, trapped and cleaned out low down by Sam Powell. Roby again. Walsh. Over top of Attila Vey. Oh, and picked up by Burgess. It was nearly an out of the back of the hand pass from Percival.
He tried to get it away.
Here goes Gildart.
He'd be furious, Kieran Cunningham. He just wanted to make sure they kept him down there and then get the kick away.
Oh, lovely feet from Bowen. Good tackle from Mossy Massoy.
Well, when he wants to put a bit of speed on for such a big man.
Play on. Play on.
Now then, Quinlan. Oh, the pass was dipping all the way to Adam Swift. If it had gone into arms,
It was on,
he was away.
and he knew it as well.
Are any surprise that came from Anthony Gelling? I think he's capable of anything on the field.
Heads in, heads in. Time off.
More
Ryan
importantly,
Hughes
I think.
alongside Eamon McManus.
Sorry,
And
Ed.
for once, they're not booing Eamon.
No, but I think more importantly about Anthony Gelling, he believes he can get away with anything. There's the passion of the St Helens chairman.
Yeah, I've got it.
He knew that that was a chance for Swift.
Just finding. Discipline in this set.
Kieran Cunningham, the St Helens coach.
Go.
I think he'd be happy enough with 6 apiece, don't you?
Doesn't he wear those
Oh
head
yeah,
coats
without a
well?
doubt. That's a great kick. That's what I always call for. It's just going to be a bit too far. That's hard lines. It's very rare we see that. A kick from the scrum. Good thinking by George Williams. There's no one at home, and it just didn't get that bounce. If it had stayed in the field of play, you could see there
Same again.
in a bit of trouble.
Sorry, I had to grab you.
Interestingly enough, St Helens raced to the scrum here to get the referee to stop the clock.
Well, this is where they can do a repeat process, do exactly what Wigan has done to them.
Discipline in this set, guys.
Because Bowen will not go back. In fact, Bowen looks as though he's going to back in as a loose forward.
Ball, Jordan.
Well, this is where Saints have got to kick it.
Well, they've got flyers either side as well.
Oh,
My
that
word.
That's the trouble with those long passes. They're in the air, they're floating for an incredibly long time. You've got a rushing defence, you're very vulnerable.
Ball, play the ball.
Well, Wilkin, you don't control the game, John. You can't just stop like that and look at the official.
I think somebody tugged his hair, maybe.
I don't care, it doesn't matter. You just get on with the game.
I think his old teammate Matty Smith gave him a little pat. This is ferocious defence.
Here we go.
And it's illegal defence.
Here we go.
Seconds out, boys, to your corners.
Sam Powell's holding Mossy Masoi back. How strong is Sam Powell?
Anybody winding the clock back and imagining Barry McDermott being dragged up from the box.
Tony Clubb's
Well, he's given the penalty already, so
Tony Clubb has seen red.
they can't come off the field and play. No doubt about it. Tony Clubb did not miss. And the big fella's head rocked back.
Watch big Sam Powell. Here we go. They're two big stags then.
I don't think it was Mossy that got one in his chops. I think it was a Televe. It was.
Oh, it was Televate, sorry.
Tony Clubb's a big impact player for the Wigan club. And what he does, he comes in, he puts himself about, and he's club by name and club by nature.
Referee is taking reports, obviously.
Well, we've got a high tackle, I think.
Tony Clubb.
There wasn't a punch thrown in the incident after that.
Tony, come on.
We've got a high tackle. And I think that's where it'll stay. I think it'll just stay with a penalty. I don't think there's anything else there.
I'm missing it. Right, listen. Very funny. Right, it's a high tackle. That's all there is.
I know he gets upset.
You've got to get a hold of your players. You can't be running in like that. It's a penalty. No, I think it's the other one. Go away. John, come here. Mossy.
Well, Tony Clubb had a bit of red mist.
Oh, my turn now. Listen, I ain't blown for a penalty. You flying in like that brought everybody else in. Control yourself. Your penalty. No,
How did you know it was Mossy? It might be mistaken identity with this.
Well, as I say, he's a marvellous player.
Yeah, you got to play for the
But
kick.
sometimes he just gets on the back of these officials.
Oh, I think that's very well dealt with. That's what you're going to get in these games.
Well, this has got to be a kick and chase, surely.
Discipline on this tackle.
Good
Well,
carry.
yes, they have to see it out until whatever happens here, because it's off a penalty.
Play on.
And St Helens are running it. St Helens are running it with Quinlan. Round the corner to Percival. Over the top of Makinson from Percival.
There's a scuffle out back at it.
Lob again.
Here we go, it's on again.
Well, he just hit the ball. I think it was Jordan Turner when he passed the ball. He might have hit him a little late.
Tony Clubb's in the middle of it again.
Yeah. Attilia Vey came straight to Tony Clubb, and then Mossy wasn't far away from it.
And Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook and Tony Clubb, ex-teammates in London.
Yeah, they know each other very, very well. And they would have had a little conversation. There you see, good work by Matty Smith, calm down. Well, he certainly went for him. The use of the elbow. Boy, it's finally calmed down.
You know why? It's half time. They're on the way to the dressing rooms. And it's 6 apiece. And it's all you might have expected from a Wigan Saints derby with so much at stake. Joel Tompkins with the first try in the 12th minute. And Wigan held on to the lead until 5 minutes before half-time when Luke Walsh scampered over. 6-all in this big shootout.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
Sky Academy uses the power of TV